What's going on, Fortnite fans? My name's Luke-thenotable, and this is TheSmithPlays. He's on his alternate account because his main account wasn't working, but you know, here we are. Hey, at least he's got skins, some of those early Battle Pass ones. 2.6 million subscribers, as well as almost 2,000 videos that I'm sure you've seen before. And because I'm his biggest fan, I watch every single one before I go to sleep every night. And we played Fortnite. And this is what happened! Sort of. In Game 0, he had to reset some of his keyboard bindings. He hasn't played on this account in a while. We built good teamwork early though, working together to jump to our doom. Now this is the real Game 1. Sorry I've been yanking your chain so hard. We dropped factories. They came back with Season X, and TSP said he'd been dropping there quite often. We were alone in factories, so we got to loot up until a brute dropped down nearby. The brutes are fantastic, and if you don't think so, by the end of this video I think we'll have you fairly convinced. Oh yeah, the best part about OG factories were the giant mech battles, right? Our mech went down first, but we were also able to take theirs out. But by this point, TSP was already dead, and I was pretty low. Game 2, we default danced down to Fatal Fields by my recommendation. It was a hot drop this time. We were still left completely alone. No one bothered us. It was great. We also got really lucky with the circle. It closed around Fatal Fields, so we just farmed mats and shot at people. As the circle started to move, we definitely had the mats to make stuff happen, but we didn't have the all-important high ground. And things always get a little tricky when the circle starts to move like this, especially for a bunch of defaults. For Game 3, I asked TheSmithPlays what his favorite location was, and he said Pleasant Park. So, you know, we dropped there. It was, Pleasant Park. Pleasant was very pleasant, but not for the other players. We had 4 kills between the two of us, but neither of us were able to find a shotgun, so I died minigunning, and then TheSmithPlays died as well. Now it's time for his least favorite location, and we're going Sunny Steps. I also detest Sunny Steps, but only because it replaced Wailing Woods. It was my favorite location. It was perfect. In the corner of the map, teleporters, the trees, it was beautiful. Even the whole jungle's kind of taken a downturn. The geysers don't work anymore. There's really no reason to come back here. One thing I absolutely love about the mechs is their ability to farm materials. Their stomp attack actually fills you with materials of whatever you're stomping. And it's insanely quick. I've got almost max wood and max stone and metal here. Kind of like the baller and the plane before that. The mech's pretty good at getting you into the end game, and because it can farm materials, it gets you in a pretty good spot. So yeah, our mech was destroyed, but we both popped out of it with 3,000 materials, and I'm pretty strong with 3,000 materials. I think anyone would be. We were kind of stuck with low mobility though. Between the two of us, we had one shockwave grenade, and I used it to get out of there, but TSP died. But again, I had a ton of materials from farming with the brute, so I still had a decent chance of winning, even alone. I was gunning for that final circle, and I had more mats left to fight, but I still fell to my death. Is anyone else really missing gliders? When's the last time you saw someone rocking the OG drift skin? This time, we dropped my favorite location, Paradise Palms. And we were left alone again to loot to our heart's content. Using the Paradise Rifts, we were able to get really good position and get another mech. We weren't able to grab too many materials though, because we were attacked, and these guys knew what they were doing. Though with one lucky stomp, I was able to take out one of their team. Now unfortunately our mech was destroyed, but we still got the kill and finished up that squad. We then used a second Paradise Rift to make it all the way to the Adobe Village, which we found unlooted. Final circle started to form, and we definitely had the best spot and maybe the most materials. I panicked a little bit and boxed myself in, but it's okay because I lived with a sliver of health. Shockwaved my way down, doing damage the entire time, and I could see that the only other player in the match was definitely afraid of us. He boxed himself in, and we won the game. 1 win in the first 5 games. We were feeling good. Now it's Game 6, and we're going to my least favorite drop, and since we already went Sunny Steps, we're going Lonely Lodge. I guess I don't have anything against Lonely Lodge, I just don't really like coming here. We had spectacular loot, but it was a very far storm, and with the changes to glider redeploy and overall mobility in Fortnite, we had to do a lot of running. Hey, look at that! What a coincidence! Another Zoe and a Dark Voyager? Whoa, these guys are coming back after a while, I can tell. I heroically got up TheSmithPlays, but then right after we were attacked by another team. I tried my best, but I did not succeed. That's fine though, cause Game 7 we're dropping Tilted Town. This was TSP's first time ever dropping there. If you don't know about Tilted Town, it's actually really fun. Right as you enter, there's no breaking and no building. You also get a sweet duster. Without breaking or building, high ground's as easy as standing on a roof. It's a nice change from getting built on by soccer skins. I guess people always say they wish they could go back to a time in Fortnite where players didn't build and players weren't that good, and Tilted Town is exactly that. Sure, Epic Games is technically handicapping us by force, but it's a nice change, and it really is a nice way to go back. Oh, and I slayed that team right there. Yeah. Anyway, Fortnite's a video game, and a video game should be about fun, and Tilted Town is fun, and it's why we go there a couple times in this video, so don't worry, you'll see more of it. However, in Fortnite, fun always goes hand in hand with a little bit of danger. Thankfully, I had TheSmithPlays though, and he handled it. By the time we left Tilted Town, there was 11 kills between the two of us, but now we're build fighting, and that's a little different. Whatever, we killed almost 6 teams, and had a lot of fun in Tilted Town. Yep, we had so much fun, we went back to Tilted Town in Game 8. What's cool is in Tilted Town is you can get weapons that are vaulted in the normal game, like the hunting rifle. But I'm not sure why a minigun will spawn in Tilted Town. Doesn't matter, I still used it to get 2 easy kills. Huge tip here, in the center of Loot Lake in Season 10, there's a big glowing orb, and that's actually a rift. You should use it to get around the map. We used it to find a mech, which is probably one of the best plays in Season 10. And it's not like we were going for kills, I literally just used this thing for materials. We did get attacked and ended up losing the mech, but we didn't die, and we still have 3,000 materials. However, despite my massive amount of materials and minigun, I still died by a soccer skin. TheSmithPlays didn't give up though. Flying into the final circle, he was literally on 1 health. He had so many extra materials from the brute that he was able to extend his life for a very long time, even against a team of 2. But nothing lasts forever, and eventually he did run out of materials, fell into the final circle, and died. We went Fatal Fields again in Game 9. It was hot, but still no one bothered us. 2 players tried to drop into our crops, but the corn made us hardy and strong. We made it to the end again in this one. We were just starting to really find a good rhythm. I probably should have killed this player, but he was saved by the magic invisible tree leaves. That circle was getting real small, but we were getting busy. I could tell that this circle was moving up the volcano, and I know that that's the best spot to be in, so I moved right for the high ground. TSP distracted him, I shot him from the high ground, and I could tell that this match was already over. Good win, 2 in the first 10, and we were feeling even better now. Though Game 10 didn't go so great, even though I had a little bit of hope as I picked up TSP's reboot card. Plan was to launch pad out of there, but I didn't have materials to set the pad down, and I died. We dropped factories again in Game 11. It's just a fantastic location, and it was a great bus for it. We made it down to Dusty Depot and killed another team that looked at us funny. From Dusty Depot, we tried to make it to Loot Lake to ride the rift, but got attacked by a default, but handled it. We then grabbed a brute, made it to the block, and got unlimited materials. I'm playing on a PC in this footage, but on a controller, and it was being weird, and I wasted a launch pad. Yeah, we still had a mech. There was zero reason for that launch pad. Probably would have been very helpful later on when our mech died, and with no teammate against 2 other players. I bet you can guess what happens. Game 12, we dropped Dusty Depot, and it's already over. Wow. And Game 13 was a hot bus in Junk Junction that ended badly. Everyone was happy in Game 14 because we dropped Happy Hamlet. Well, except this guy we killed. And this is Season X gameplay, so you know the only option was to go for a mech. With the decreased mobility in Season X, the mech is insanely good at getting up mountains and insanely good at vaporizing enemy teams. Hills and berms are also great cover for the mech, and in this part of the map there's tons of those, so we did very well. And in the end, it was 2-on-1 in the final circle, and we had a giant death robot, so probably gonna win this one. Oh, it was a classic Fortnite finish. He was running out in the open, we fired 38 missiles at him, and default danced in the end. By this point, me and TSP had developed some pretty good mech skills. I worked the legs, he worked the guns, and together, we pretty much destroyed everybody. If you have 2 players that know what they're doing inside of a brute, it can be insanely dangerous, and we got tons of kills in this match. Like here, we knew the last guy was just cowering inside Mega Mall, so we used the missiles to kill him, and took the L on it. Somehow it hurts so much more coming from a giant robot. Game 16's pretty quick, dropped lucky and didn't get lucky. And then Game 17, we were defaulting around Pressure Plant when a guy with a skin killed us. Defaulting into Tilted Town for Game 18, I told you earlier we had fun, had to go again. TheSmithPlays went down, but I killed his attacker and grabbed his reboot card like a true gentleman. I was gonna reboot him in Shifty Shafts, but another squad showed up with a mech, and like the sneaky default I am, I stole it. I got away and rebooted him in Fatal Fields. It's probably better this way. We then hopped back in our shared body and went on to kill a lot of other players in the match. And yeah, in the end, 2 defaults from Tilted Town got the giant metal death robot and won the game, and default danced on the entire lobby. Game 19, everything's fine and under control, I promise. You know, I kinda wanted to save some more time for Game 20, and Game 19, we don't win, 3rd place. So here we are, Game 20, and we figured we'd finish it like we started, dropping factories. It was a little bit hot of a drop, but we stayed on the outside and shot players in the back like professionals. And in one instance I did go down, but thankfully TheSmithPlays played it perfectly. And now the voices in our head told us to go to Dusty Depot. No one was there, so instead we went to the rift at the center of Loot Lake. And with the rift, we ended up getting a mech. Pretty good deal. Ooh, a robot fight. Not sure what happened, but we haven't had any of these in this video yet. We almost killed the other mech, but I was a pretty conservative pair of legs and gave them plenty opportunity to run away, and they did. It's fine, totally fine. Really didn't care about that other robot, just wanted to get some materials here at the block. In this one, we used the mech mostly for mobility, didn't get too many kills with it. It took a lot of damage. People are getting smarter against these things. But again, the nice thing about the brute isn't necessarily its damage, it's popping out after with 3,000 mats. And in Game 20, in the final circle with with 6,000 mats between the two of us. We conquered this game, easily. 6 wins across 20 games with a teammate I've never played with before. That's pretty notable. Thank you all for watching. I also really want to thank TheSmithPlays for coming on the video. We had to play for over 7 hours to make this thing happen. Let me know down in the comments section who you'd like to see on 20 Drops next, or let your favorite creator know that I'm looking for people. Anyway, that's the end of the video. It's been 10 minutes. Stay notable. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.